All right, well, Tony, we're ready to go. Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, September 20th meeting of the Hyde Park Town Board. We are in Town Hall, which is a great feeling, considering that we were remote for so many months, and just wanted to let people know that I'm very grateful for all the good wishes and prayers that were sent my way while I was dealing with a very serious family medical issue. And the good news is they are working, and things are really on the mend. And so I am both grateful and happy to be back, and grateful for all the support and good work that the team has done in my absence. So thank you.
We're happy to have you here.
Thanks,
Happy to have you
everyone.
back.
So
Yeah.
happy to be back.
Well,
So-
Supervisor, if you can just move your mic down closer
Oh,
to
yeah,
you,
sure.
please. Otherwise, Tony will yell at you.
Okay. Alrighty, so please do join me while we pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, may I have a motion to accept the minutes of September 13th?
I make that motion?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I was not here, so cannot do that. So do we have any members of the public that would like to provide comments on the resolutions? Doesn't appear to be so. We'll move on then to our public hearings. I know that we've had numerous discussions on the recent New York State law changes to cannabis distribution, sales, and both in retail and in lounges. And we studied the issue rather closely and in detail, and have made the decision that we would like to opt out of the laws allowing both on-site consumption and sales. So we have those two public hearings on the agenda, and would you please go ahead and read those, Madam Clerk?
Please take notice that the Town Board of the Town of Hyde Park shall conduct a public hearing on the adoption of proposed local law I of the year 2021, entitled "A Local Law Opting Out of Allowing On-Site Cannabis Consumption Sites as Authorized under New York State Cannabis Law Article 4," on Monday, September 20th, 2021 at 6:05 p.m. at the Hyde Park Town Hall, located at 4383 Albany Post Road, Hyde Park, New York, 12538. A copy of said local law is available for inspection at the town clerk's office during normal business hours and will be posted on the town's official website. All persons desiring to be heard on this local law shall be given an opportunity to do so at said public hearing. By order of the Town Board of the Town of Hyde Park, dated August 23rd, 2021, Hyde Park, New York, Donna McGrogan, Town Clerk.
Okay, would anyone like to speak on this local law? Okay, and were any comments received by the town clerk or through the email system?
Nope.
No?
I've received none.
Okay, all right, well, good. Again, the town has decided after careful examination and consideration that we should opt out while things get more resolved, more clear as time goes on. This was our only opportunity to opt out. We had this had to be completed by the end of this year, but we can always opt in when we have further information, and we'll make continuing study and consideration.
And I know that we've gone over this, but if we didn't opt out by the end of the year, we could never opt out, correct?
That's right. That's the point to make clear. I know mayors and supervisors meetings, we've had lots of discussions on, which route to take, and many were taking the same route because clearly the New York State has not provided enough enough backup for us to make a good decision. We've considered input from our police chief and various other sources. So we will continue to study it as time goes on, and we see how other communities fare.
Great.
And it's also quite easy to opt in
Sure.
if we just rescind the law, either this board or
That's right.
future boards.
Yeah, that's
When
right.
it settles.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think the guidance is really what we're looking for. I
Yeah.
know, talking with Chief and having him here, you know, he needs to get his men and his department up to speed on how to handle this as well. So I think it's just the right, it doesn't stop people from smoking or growing, you know, because that's a New York State law.
Right.
But this is
That's
just
out of our-
stopping consumption of having a dispensary and a consumption of,
At a lounge.
at a lounge.
Yep, that's right. So, you know, it will continue to evolve the situation, and we'll be able to gather input from other communities, which I think is the wise way to do it. And actually, they haven't even fully created the department that will be overseeing it as of yet. So it's really,
There's a long way to go.
they have a long way to go. So.
Yes.
Good.
So, good.
Okay, so may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and the second is for the retail dispensaries. So, Madam Clerk, when you're ready, please go ahead and read it.
Please take notice that the Town Board of the Town of Hyde Park shall conduct a public hearing on the adoption of proposed local law J of the year 2021, entitled "A Local Law Opting Out of Allowing Cannabis Retail Dispensaries as Authorized Under New York State Cannabis Law, Article 4, on Monday, September 20th, 2021 at 6:10 p.m. at the Hyde Park Town Hall, located at 4383 Albany Post Road, Hyde Park, New York. A copy of said local law is available for inspection at the town clerk's office during normal business hours and will be posted on the town's official website. All persons desiring to be heard on this local law shall be given an opportunity to do so at said public hearing. By order of the Town Board of the Town of Hyde Park, dated August 23rd, 2021, Hyde Park, New York, Donna McGrogan, Town Clerk.
Okay, would anyone like to speak on this local law? And were any comments received?
I received none.
None, no? And Neil?
None.
Okay. Well, I think we explained this pretty thoroughly, so may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I make a motion.
Now second it.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, great. So our next item on the agenda is, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
We have to do a quick seeker review on that.
Oh, okay,
Warren, can you
sorry.
move your
Yeah,
mic?
closer, yeah.
So it wasn't clear to me whether this was a type 2 action under seeker, both of these laws, which are exempt from environmental review, but we erred on the side of caution. So I prepared a part 1 of the EAF for both local laws and took the liberty of answering the questions on the part 2, all in the negative, that neither of these local laws had the potential for any significant environmental impacts to the environment, and draft environmental impact statements need not be prepared. So if the board votes to adopt both of these local laws, in the resolution is a seeker resolution to that effect also.
Okay,
Good.
well, good. That
Good.
totally
Thanks,
makes
Maura.
sense. It's hard to imagine there would be any environmental impacts.
We weren't sure.
But I always like erring on the side of caution.
Yes.
Good, okay, thanks, Warren. Okay, so we have a guest tonight, Laura Nordstrom, our legislative aide, and she's been doing an amazing job of grant applications for the town. Just submitted our second one for, actually our third TAP application for expanding our sidewalks. And we've been working on that pretty carefully and pretty diligently, so that was our second submittal today. But we're so pleased because she did create this grant application for our awesome, all-inclusive, accessible playground project. And we're grateful to the county for awarding us $170,000 for this wonderful improvement for Hackett Hill. As most people know, we've really been dedicating energy and funds to our town parks. Completed recently a major improvement at Dinsmore with a pickleball court and basketball court, and did receive a second CDBG funding application for the expansion of the playground. But this was an application through the county's Municipal Innovation Grant. So Laura's just going to walk us all through this tonight and really kind of explain it to the board in case you're not fully aware of it, and to the public. So thanks for joining us tonight, Laura, and for all the work you've been doing and getting us money. Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me. So we'll start the awesome, all-inclusive, accessible playground project. This concept was initially proposed by Councilman Krupnik. He initially saw the MIG grant be announced and brought the concept to Aileen, supervisor, as well as myself, and so that is initially what started this, and it's been really exciting to work on, honestly. Can I take this off?
Yeah, you're far enough
Thank
away.
you.
It's a little hard to hear with these on, for sure. But I might just preface that too, not to interrupt you, Laura, before you get started, but actually the idea came to us several years ago when we originally met with a number of residents.
A lot of
And-
moms came forward.
Yeah, and they came to us and asked, why can Hyde Park not have what other communities have? We really want to see an upgraded, contemporary, modern playground where all children feel safe and where we can explore it. And it takes a long time to get that momentum going, but we heard them, we reacted, and we've really been successful. So it was an idea that originated with the public, and then,
We were just waiting for a grant like this to be
Yeah,
available.
And I'm glad that I think it was a lot of the new families moving in.
the young families.
Really came and spoke with you.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like it was always a push-pull. At least I felt that way when I was on the rec commission. So it was nice that you were able to meet with them and really understand the needs of what Hackett Hill really needs and deserves. So I'm super excited about this. So thank
Yeah,
you.
Yeah,
Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome.
it's awesome.
So we'll start with the definition of essentially what is accessible, because people hear playground and they might hear ADA and they might think that it's only for a certain type of child. So accessible means ramped transitions onto equipment. And this is a big deal because a lot of equipment requires an actual lift to put a child onto. So this means that a wheelchair could actually roll up onto the deck of the equipment. Wide bridges and decks will accommodate a wheelchair and allow for maneuvers. Transfer points, as I stated, a special lower spot to lift a child onto if needed, as well as flush equipment installation to surfacing for anybody who's had a stroller across mulch or had to push a walker or simply had an issue of mobility. Mulch can be really difficult to navigate, and so the idea of including rubber surfacing really steps up the game in terms of being accessible. There'll be ADA-specific equipment, such as secure swings, inclusive whirls, and ADA slides. So a child in a wheelchair can go up that deck and then down that slide because it is built at such an incline to accommodate. There will be sensory play equipment in order to stimulate children, and then quiet areas that provide comfort if overstimulated, and once again, surfacing that optimizes movement for those with limited mobility. So a question we have is, why here? Why Hackett? Why Hyde Park? 17% of enrolled students, or 575 children, in the Hyde Park Central School District have a disability. The town has previously received multiple requests, as mentioned previously, for enhanced park amenities, and specifically, there was a request for an accessible playground. Special needs children, as we know, were also severely underserved during the pandemic. And additionally, 2,405 students in the surrounding districts would gain access to an accessible playground. The second largest program at Anderson Center for Autism, which is right here, is the non-residential education program where students from surrounding counties are transported for educational and program services. And finally, 1 in 54 children, bad angle, 1 in 54 children are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. So again, we're really trying to hit all the points when it comes to what being inclusive and accessible means. The benefits are that there will be an increase in park amenities at Hackett Hill, which increases the town amenities as a whole. It improves the quality of life for all Hyde Park families, but especially those with special needs children, by providing more opportunities to play outside and play with others. It will enhance the summer camp program by adding a playground for children, which will suit kids ages 2 to 12, and expand the opportunities for children with disabilities to then participate in the summer camp program. Hyde Park families will be able to stay local for recreation and not have to drive 30 miles to Julie's Jungle for a playground that fits their needs. And this one is exciting. It adds a play component to Hyde Park as an accessible destination for families. The Municipal Investment Grant is where these funds are coming from. Formerly the Municipal Innovation Grant, it provides funding through Dutchess County for designated project areas. So, to stress, up to $500,000 from the county is targeted for public facilities and improvements to existing municipal parks and recreational areas. Priority projects including improved recreational opportunities and quality of life for youth and families, improve upon the Americans with Disabilities accessibility at existing facilities, and park projects that include sensory components. This grant was built for this playground. And Hyde Park has successfully applied for and received $170,000 with a 75% match from the Recreation Trust of $127,500, bringing our total project budget to $297,500.
The only thing is, I don't think that's 75%.
It's 75% of the 170.
Of the.
That's how the county
okay,
calculated.
Right, but not of the total project.
Not of the total project.
Yes.
To provide a timeline, the project year retroactively from the county started August 1st, 2021. We do expect drainage mitigation to occur in October of 2021, an additional fill to be incorporated to raise the grade, as some concerns were brought to the front for the site, so we want to make sure those are dealt with. Installation will occur April to June 2022, allowing the site to settle prior to the camp season beginning, and this was discussed directly with the camp director. And hopefully plantings in the ground in June, which will be both a visual component and, as discussed with the engineer, it will assist as a bioswale for drainage. The project so far is supported by Hyde Park Central School District Superintendent Aviva Kafka, Assemblywoman Dee Dee Barrett, Senator Sue Serino, Friends of Hyde Park, the Hyde Park Chamber of Commerce, and the Dutchess County Tourism, all of which provided support letters for the county to make their decision. And here's the exciting part. This is the concept design. So you can see the decks in the front there. That section is for ages 5 to 12. The section towards the back is for 2 to 12-year-olds, 2 to 5-year-olds. This is the inclusive whirl, which has a flush mount, our quiet sensory space. And for another view, you will see the ADA compliant swings, this fantastic musical sensory section, areas for parents to relax for a moment while their kids play, and it's really a playground that is built for all kids, because even though the surfacing will be here and there's these components, this is all the things you'd see in a traditional playground. So it really speaks to all kids being able to play. The color scheme is something that has been suggested. We are hoping to get public comment, which brings us to this. Public comment period is now open. It is essential for transparency and public satisfaction of this project, and we encourage you to submit your comments on this project to myself, which is lnordstrom@hydeparkny.us, via comment or message on the Town Hyde Park Facebook page or via your board member. Does anybody have any questions?
No.
I think
I
you
mean,
covered it.
Yeah, we've been talking about it quite a lot. Again, it's just really a wonderful location for it. One of the issues that was brought to our attention regarding other parks that we have, including Pine Woods, is the secluded nature of them. And what's great about this location is it's really very public. young moms with their kids, they don't want to be feeling like they're the only people in the woods, so to speak. So I think that that's another asset, and the fact that it's located where the camp occurs is also really good. So I'm curious, what other color options are there? So you have some blues and greens. This is more of a natural Mother Earth, I think, is kind of how this is represented.
There are definitely multiple color options. There are natural color schemes as well as primary color schemes, things that have more of a color pop. So we're really hoping to get input on the color because that is something that, really matters. I know the park recreation director has weighed in on this as well and is also in mind to have something that is more into the natural landscape as opposed to really sticking out. But we'd love to hear from parents.
I am super excited this is going into Hackett. The park this year seems to really have a strong heartbeat now, with disc golf that has brought in quite a few people, a lot of people that are always playing. The stage, for music in the parks, and not only music in the parks, but all the theatrical things that New Deal and everyone's doing.
Dance Works too.
Community Day was filled this year, and the stage was wonderful, and the vendors were great, and hay rides, and it was just, that park just seems to be alive. And we have so many new families moving in, and I'm so thankful that we have ADA, and not too far in the distance, this building will be ADA, so, we're finally getting to a place where we should be.
You mean the 21st century?
Yeah, can you believe it, and, I think FDR would be extremely proud that we're finally getting to this place.
It takes a lot of time to just peel back the layers, to find the money, to really get focused on the improvements that you really want to make.
Right.
And, we've taken care of so many issues that were left over from generations. So now we can really begin this. This is the fun part.
This is the fun part.
And you forgot to mention that, the recent renovation of the program building has really made a vast improvement to the park, and we just put a new furnace in, and one of the jobs I would like to see done is we should get photos up of all our parks that we can rent out, because people may not be aware of the assets that we actually own, and one of them is the program building. And what a great place to have a party, to have a communion, a small wedding. I've seen weddings down at Riverfront Park, and that's great too. And so, just like getting people into the park, bringing life, it's perfect. So we're thrilled. And so the next steps are that you've already met with Pete and Rob, and Pete's putting together a proposal for us on the engineering and the drainage work that will be required, right? Is that kind of where we are? Good. That's great. And then it's interesting because we are doing also a playground at Dinsmore, and I'm curious, we should probably have we gotten the details yet on what the layout is for that park? We haven't quite gotten there yet, I don't think. So we'll have to try to do something a little bit different from what's here, just to provide an alternative. And then just one further thought, while I have you here before you go home, even though you've been here since 8, we should reach out to Pete to find out, or Christy Bonomo, to find out the CDBG timeline for...
They will be opening it up in the next couple of weeks.
In the next couple of weeks,
Yeah.
okay, because Hackett has not been in their area that is the census tract where it's allowed. But, if we'd like to keep making improvements at Hackett, we might want to consider doing an income survey to really, because we did that for Farm Lane, and that's how we got the monies for the construction of that sidewalk. So, it might just be something that once you, if
Did that change? I'm sorry to interrupt you, because we did the CB for the sidewalk on East Market Street. That
Right.
qualified.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
So it does change every 5 years. So I'm wondering and hopeful that perhaps it has changed again. But the census blocks are drawn in certain ways, and that
Okay.
might have been connected with the part of 9G.
Okay.
Where this census block where Hackett is is connected to Stoutenburg and
And
those,
Hudson.
and Hudson, and they're
Yeah.
more affluent. So that's, you might have to, but it is possible that it changed.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
Because
uh,
that's how we did that sidewalk.
Yeah, at
Right.
Farm Lane, and I think ironically, Farm Lane then became part of CDBG eligible
Yes.
after we did it. So, so it's kind of fluid, but it does narrow down the areas where you can make these improvements. But, you know, we do have some additional ideas on things that we can do to improve the pool, or I'd love to see a splash pad there. I think that would be such a cool use. And, you know, as people know, I was taking care of my grandson, and we did go to a playground that had this surface. It's really a great surface. It's
Yeah, it's
really,
great.
really pleasant to be on and feels so safe. And yeah, so it's going to be great.
Right. I see that, you know, I'm the park liaison now, of recreation, and, you know, I'm excited that we're using a nice size sum of the rec fund, which is generated by, you know, having new developments come in, and that's
Yeah.
how that trust fund gets set up. But the trust fund is not to have money just sit in the bank. It's meant to improve the parks.
Exactly.
And
To provide the recreation, that's
right,
why the
and
developers
some
say it.
people have the thought process of, let's keep it in the bank and let's hoard it.
Yeah.
And it's not meant for that. It's meant to support the activities of the youth and for the families in Hyde Park. So I'm super excited that we're moving forward with this. I'm a huge advocate for the parks, being Ward 4 councilman or being a constituent of Hyde Park. I'm a huge advocate for that. So kudos to you getting the grant, and I am so looking forward to seeing all children of every type, size, abilities, disabilities being used in that park. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's great. Okay, well,
We're
thanks,
going to have to
Laura.
keep Ken off of the playground.
Yeah, Ken.
I'll be
Ken's
on
over
it.
at the disc golf.
I'll be on it.
I have to say that the Northern Duchess women's lacrosse or youth lacrosse started using that park this year.
They did.
So they're, yes, as a practice
Oh, I didn't know
field
that.
in the back.
The backfield.
The
there,
back
yeah.
field.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And so there were a lot of families there.
Oh, that is great.
Very often. And I must say from personal experience from being there almost all hours of the day, you're not alone there. There's disc golf going on. There's people using the pavilion. There's people walking the trails. When I was there a few weekends in a row, it's the same people as well. So it's the folks in that area that use the trails and use the parks to walk their dog and such. So you're not alone in that park. So it's a really nice park to get something like this done.
Yeah.
And it would have been well used during Community Day for sure this past
yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, there was a line for the 4 swings that we have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Also,
that's great.
just to add, it is good also with the rec commission funds that this is not a large portion coming out of it. It is
That's
a
right.
good sizable amount, but in discussion with the rec commission and the rec director, there is still a sizable amount of funds being
Sizable.
left in
Right.
order to allow it to kind of rebuild.
That's
So
correct.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to stress that we've been as fiscally responsible as possible, including getting multiple quotes from multiple companies. We actually asked for 3 different price points from 3 different companies with 3 different designs and 3 different types of surfacing from each of them in order to have as well backed of a choice as possible.
right.
So thank
Well,
you
and
very
on-
much for your
on-
time.
On that note, though, thank you, Laura. Good night.
Thank you.
I had a conversation with the developers of Belfield today and let them know that this rec commission, the rec fees should be on their radar as part of their concept plan submittal. Like,
Fantastic.
we.
Thank you.
You know, the.
Have a great night.
Yeah, good night,
Thank you.
Laura. So, I mean, the contribution to the rec trust is in lieu somewhat of providing your own recreation
Right.
during subdivision approvals. And so we'll kind of have to see where that goes.
You mean they didn't want to pay any, or?
No, it's
Oh.
just that it's just was not a resolved issue.
Okay.
So I brought it to their attention.
Thank you.
That we would like that as part of their proposal.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we have not had a lot of subdivisions in Hyde Park recently. All the ones that are being constructed were approved 20,
Decades
30
old.
years ago.
Yeah.
And so times have changed, and we're looking forward to an infusion
That's a big item.
of
but-
monies.
But kudos to you. I mean, when, we talk about grants a lot, right? And this is just a really good visual of what grants can do for you, and how it
It's
really
really the
helps
only way.
it helps the
Yeah.
community by getting, receiving 170,000 just for this project, or, you getting $1 million gift to help make this ADA compliant. That's just, it's money that the taxpayers don't have to pay.
That's right.
So, when people are like, oh, my taxes are too high, when are you going to lower my taxes? Well, every time we get a grant to do something, that's basically lowering your taxes, because we don't have to raise taxes to
Exactly.
get these projects completed. So kudos to you and
Yeah,
your
and,
staff for getting it done. So
Thank you, Ken. It's ready to go, ready to roll then.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Neil, you want to go ahead and start? And
Yes. Resolution 920-1 of 2021. Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to accept the Dutchess County 2021-2022 Municipal Investment Grant, MIG, program funding for ADA accessible and inclusive design playground equipment for the Town of Hyde Park Recreation Hackett Hill Park.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna have to pass again this
That's
week,
okay, we got you,
gentlemen
David.
and ladies, because my vision's better, but I don't want to be stumbling over it.
Oh,
That's
thanks,
Hopefully by
Dave.
next week, it'll be good.
We have you covered.
We hope so, Dave.
Thanks.
Resolution 920-2 of 2021, resolution authorizing entrance onto the property located at 909 Violet Avenue, Hyde Park, tax ID number 6164-02-518685, to bring this property into compliance with the standards of Chapter 85-5B of the Town Code, and to assess the cost of such action against the property as a lien and a charge on the same.
Second.
And, I just might give an update on that. The original resolution allowed us to demolish the property and bring those costs back and assess them against the property. But we explored it pretty carefully with our town engineer, and the costs were going to be very high, somewhere around $100,000.
Oh.
And so the property is likely to go to tax sale, and so our thought process was it would be less likely to sell if it had a lien of $100,000 on it. So what we decided to do, and again, this was with input from some of the residents, is decided to make the property safe but not fully demolish it, and in the expectation that it will sell at tax sale. Oh, it's not this one? Oh, sorry, excuse me. I was wrong on that. Sorry, take that back. That was the so
That's
is
the
this
other one.
563?
Yes, so this
That's
was just
Quaker,
lawn
right?
You're talking
maintenance.
about
Oh, 563, sorry.
I
Okay.
didn't want to interrupt you, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
because it sounded so interesting?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well,
You won't have
sorry
to do
about
it
that. I
again.
repeal all that thought.
Yeah, this was for grass maintenance.
But is that not on
Yeah,
563 though?
This is just.
No.
Just, oh, sorry about that.
So hopefully the person on Violet Avenue doesn't think we're going to
No,
demolish his house.
sorry. Why did I think it was 563?
It goes to them.
Get that straight.
Well, it depends what landscaper we get in there to mow the lawns, you don't know. So I second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 920-3 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to provide notice pursuant to Chapter 40, Chapter 40-11, D2 of the Town Code for the collection of unpaid fire inspection fees.
Second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 920-4 of 2021. Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to submit the 2021-2022 grant application for the Justice Court Assistance Program, JCAP, grant for the Town of Hyde Park Justice Court.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 920-5 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute an agreement with Verizon Wireless to permit the installation, maintenance, and operation of communications equipment on the property located on Route 9G, tax parcel number 494023, in the Town of Hyde Park.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And Neil, had you kind of gone into the detail on this yet at the last meeting?
We did not.
Oh,
This
okay.
is
So we should kind of review it.
Yeah, this is a really great use of a property that doesn't really allow for any uses whatsoever.
Well, and-
So the Verizon came to the town and they were looking for a location, and Aileen and I talked about it, and you actually, I think you came up with, you said, there's this property there. And Stephen and I met with the Verizon people, with the engineers, et cetera, and that they thought this property was perfect for their uses, and the town gets money.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
only
it's-
do we get money, we get
every
better-
month.
We get better
Better
services as
self-service.
well.
And, right, it's a win-win for everybody.
That's what we're trying to sell, or?
It
Yeah, well,
was.
Okay,
Yeah, we,
great.
so I would say about 5 years ago,
Right.
we
Yes.
we did a review of town-owned properties and discovered that we owned a parcel on St. Andrews,
Yeah,
and,
right.
which is a limited access highway, and it was given to the town, I don't know, 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And so we had put it on the market, and I got lowballed of about 10,000. Someone offered, and I was like, no, it's not enough. But, you know, fortunately, Verizon came, we had a discussion, a brainstorming, where could they go? And so the revenue is going to be, it's going to be nice. It's $1,500 a month. And if there's any co-location, it's $300 a month. They'll pay us extra.
Plus a $2,000 signing bonus.
2,000 signing bonus, and there's no development cost for the town.
That's
It's
fantastic.
Completely, so,
And the
you know, I
revenue
got
stream
offered
continues.
10,000,
Yeah.
and in less than 4 months, we'll have our money back.
And
That's what
that's-
we would have made if we sold it, so
Yeah.
feel really good about that, and thanks, Neil, for taking the lead on that.
Of course.
That's really cool.
So good.
Did we vote on that?
Yep,
We did.
okay.
Resolution 920-6 of 2021, resolution adopting local law number 1 of the year 2021 entitled Local Law Opting Out of Allowing On-Site Cannabis Consumption Sites as Authorized under the New York State Cannabis Law, Article 4.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Yes.
Do we need a
sure,
roll
we'll
call?
do a roll call on
Yeah.
that.
Councilman Krupnik.
Aye.
Councilman Ray.
Aye.
Councilman Woodcock.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
And Supervisor Rohr.
Aye.
Hold on. Okay, Resolution 920-7 of 2021, resolution adopting local law number J of the year 2021, entitled A Local Law Opting Out of Allowing Cannabis Retail Dispensaries as Authorized under New York State Cannabis Law, Article 4.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh,
Roll
actually,
call?
we'll do a roll call
Yeah.
again. Sorry, Donna.
Councilman Krupnik.
Aye.
Councilman Ray.
Aye.
Councilman Woodcock.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
Supervisor Rohr.
Aye.
Resolution 920-8 of 2021, resolution authorizing Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute a consent judgment for the Ray Marvel LLC tax cert proceeding, index number 2021-53035.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
So just, again, doing a little housekeeping. Did we cancel the meeting on the 27th?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
we did.
Yep.
Just want to make sure.
We've got one more here.
Okay.
So this is the one that you were talking about in Quaker, correct? The one we just passed? No.
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 Nope.
Oh, I got you, number 10, okay, sorry. Resolution 920-9 of 2021, resolution acknowledging the promotion of Rory Blackwell from motor equipment operator to auto mechanic for the Town of Hyde Park Highway Department.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And
Thank you, Rory.
congratulations, Rory, well-deserved, and look forward to you being a mechanic over there. So,
Got one more.
Nope.
No, that's
Nope.
it.
No, that's
There was
it.
a duplication.
It was a
Oh, gotcha.
duplicate.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, yeah.
okay. So, again, just wanted to reiterate that I was very sad to miss the Community Day, Hyde Park Community Day, but again, family called and I went, so I heard it was wonderful, so congratulations to all and to our rec leader for leading a wonderful event. And of course, I was very sad to miss the 9/11 remembrance, and I heard it was beautiful, beautiful ceremony. So-
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So, okay, well, on our next meeting, I plan to give a grant update on all the grants that are in motion. There's a lot. And then, of course, we begin our budgetary process, and we'll be presenting the tentative budget. And, we're working carefully and closely to make sure that we stay in the tax cap, and it looks like we'll be able to do that. So,
Yep.
with lots of good things ahead. Okay, so.
I make a motion to close.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night,
Yes,
everybody.
thanks.
Yes.
Good to see everyone. So, have a good